All right. Well, so this is vlog number 1 for Pops. May or may not be called Pop-Its in the future. So basically, today is month 2 to 3 of starting a business. We started in MSU. I'll give you the rundown of where we're at right now, what we did today, and I don't know how much I can tell you about where we're going, but basically if you want to start a business, this is what I have taken in action, and then my partner, what we have done together as far as action steps. So we're part of MSU's Burgess Institute in the Discovery Program. The Burgess Institute is basically a university-funded effort that helps students start startups or small businesses and grow them into bigger ventures. There's pitch competitions for funding, all sorts of stuff. There's resources, mentorship, a free workspace, and luckily we have access to this software called LivePlan. It helps you build out a business plan that really digs into the nitty-gritty of what your cash flow is going to be, what your expenses are going to be, what your marketing plan is going to be, what your advisor board is going to look like, your legal structure, executive summary, everything you need to make an actual coherent business plan is there, and I'm learning so much just from the beginning of this process. So I'm very grateful for the Burgess Institute. Just a shout out there. And now we're at the point where we're almost done with LivePlan. I know this is like 2 months sounds like a long time. Realistically, if you worked sun up to sundown and you had like an advisor in the room, you could probably do it in a week, is just what I'm thinking. I may or may not be right, but I feel like that's the amount of hours that I've put in, because I've also been in school. And then before that, I mean, countless hours of inspiration, thinking of other products, throwing that out the window. But okay, then there's also market research. So maybe that 1 week isn't right, because I spoke with 50 people about a workout, a fitness supplement, and then another 50 pretty much about a nootropic or a study supplement between the gym, the library, over a course of about a week and a half. Anywho, it's just about the time that you put in. I mean, you can put it in all in one day or you can spread it out. But so the action steps we've taken is filling out LivePlan. Again, like I said, the marketing and all that. But today, we really narrowed in on a couple things. So Sam and I now are at the point where we need to know what our ingredients are for the supplement. I can't tell you exactly what the supplement is because we're waiting to get a patent for it. But the formula is, there's a focus formula and then there's a workout formula, okay, like a pre-workout. So we needed to know exactly the raw ingredients that we needed to manufacture this thing. So I went ahead and I used ChatGPT to find out the dosing and just organize charts for me. And I pulled studies originally to find the proper dosing for each of these things. Then I'm seeing how much we can fit into a serving size for our delivery method. And then I'm looking at packaging. I'm looking up how to make this delivery method. So if you were doing a supplement, is it in a capsule? Is it a tincture? Is it a powder? Whatever you're doing. I had to look up packaging, and then Sam had a specific idea. So he looked up packaging for like the outer packaging, what the supplements or the supplement is going to be held in. So he found that. You use things like Alibaba, you use keywords. Look, I'm an open book. As much as I'm an open book here, I should be. Meaning this advice is like what I needed to hear to give me a very clear look into what building a business looks like. We literally don't even have an entity. I'm being transparent, but this is just what we're doing and it's gonna move forward. So I hope I'm not coming from a prideful place, but this is really cool. So hear me out. We looked at packaging, we're looking at different vendors, we're getting quotes together. Our marketing strategy in the beginning is surrounding free samples. So, and maybe this is just a documentary for my kids or like whoever sees this in the future, but realistically, we started looking at marketing free samples at gyms and getting, again, a packaging, like a little tear pack for a couple samples, put a QR code on it. This might be private until later, man, because this is just such a good strategy. I don't even know. But we're working on deciphering between 2 different logo designs or 2 different names at this time too. So I went ahead and AI generated an image of each. It's not the perfect one, but it's pretty darn close in my opinion. The color scheme, the font style, all that. And we're gonna ask trusted friends and family what they think. Later we put a patent on a design or a provisional patent, go ahead and do a bigger survey. I did market research on what the problem was with pre-workouts and what the problem was with studying. What I learned from looking at a couple books here and talking to a lot of people, not every idea that I have had in the past is marketable in the way that I thought it was. Like, just because people have a problem doesn't mean they're looking for a solution or looking for my solution to that problem. However, if there's a gap to be filled and you tell people a detail about what you're building and they're like, oh my gosh, can I try it? It's like, hey, that's probably a good idea. You know what I mean? So that's been exciting. So we worked on ingredients, we worked on packaging today. I stayed late, after we worked on packaging together and I worked on ingredients, I found some manufacturers. I was looking, there's a venture kitchen here where you can create a food product. It's not exactly an FDA approved space, but you can demo it. Maybe it is FDA approved, I don't really know, that's not our field. But we're a supplement, so you have to be stricter, like hair nets, all this stuff. To apply to license a space could theoretically, it might be the same or shorter because we're gonna have to check and balance this. Whatever's quicker and easier is what we're gonna do for our first stage. Okay, later we're gonna need a facility, but we're getting quotes and stuff right now and seeing how long it would take. Because we have one or two things. We can either use this venture kitchen space, create a supplement space that's highly quality controlled, hair nets, gloves, operating procedure. You need a batch record of everything that you did. I put this much ingredient in here, I put it into a capsule, whatever I'm doing, and then I packaged it here and it's sealed off and it's in this fridge. That's done. That's May 15th or whatever happened. You also need that recipe so you can repeat it over and over again, including cleaning and all that stuff. You also need batch numbers for your raw ingredients. You may or may not be in the supplement business if you're watching this, but if you this is like everything. Like, I'm giving you pretty much every detail of what I'm doing. And that's what I wanted to hear a month ago. But and I haven't really been inhibited from this information, but now I put the work in. So anyways, eat, it's a beautiful thing to learn. So anywho, the standard operating procedure, all that stuff for the venture kitchen, or we can have a GMP facility off-site. You're gonna have to pay them, but a lot of these places for fitness supplements, they already have the raw materials, like the common supplements that you'd mix together for your own formula. So you pay them a price, you obviously get a discount on bulk, but they manufacture it and they're already certified. So we don't have to wait for the paperwork to come in for our kitchen. We don't have to get our kitchen audited. We don't have to worry about hair nets and all that stuff. We just send the money and we get the product back and we market it and do what we need to do. The only hiccups, or not hiccups I'm not thinking negatively at all. That's not the way that I'm wired for this. I'm like we're going to the moon. That's my mindset. So the major considerations for an offsite manufacturer is there's most often a minimum order quantity. We found one where it's pretty low. It still would probably require a couple grand. It just depends. And we also want samples and then we want full size. So are we gonna have to do a minimum order of samples and a minimum order of full size? I don't know. Is that gonna affect pricing? I don't know. Also, those people have they have contracts with other companies. It's gonna take maybe 2 months to make our stuff and mail it to us or drive it to us. If we wait, 6 weeks and get certified for our own kitchen, we can just make our own supplements and basically print our own supplements whenever we want. You know what I mean? We have a heat sealer here. All we need to do is buy packaging, and that's what we've been working on. So there's, we have to weigh that out. We're also working on Live Plan. It's May 15th. Like I said, I pretty much hit the grindstone in March with this idea, I'm pretty sure. But now, class is up, baby. We're going in. So, but I'm not here to talk about the future and prospects. But basically, what we're working on now is finishing Live Plan. We have a meeting with our advisor from Burgess Institute, which is great. And she's going to help us review this. And then we get to pitch for launch, which in the Burgess Institute, we'll probably cover this in a later video, but you have access to much more resources and funding once you're in the launch program. So, pretty good stuff. Anywho, I just wanted to record this, not only for educational, but business purposes. I just think it's great. Yeah. What else am I missing? I mean, it's late. We had a tornado warning. Like, I'm at the office late. Like, it's great. Like, yeah, this is good. So I'm gonna wrap it up for the night, and that's about it. We'll see you.